back to normal routines. It's been a spooky one down the Brickfields. Let's get down to business. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of It's Always Scrummy in Plymouth, the Plymouth Albion fans podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to the Spotify page, Apple Podcasts, and also available on YouTube. What we've got coming up on the show, we'll be talking about Albion's under the Floodlights big win against Moseley. Got the fixtures and results across National 1, the crazy National League 1, and we'll be discussing the league table. We'll also do our usual looking at what the fans have got to say, what's been going on in this life of Scrummy Paul, and then we'll have Rugby Novice with the one and only Livy. Make sure you subscribed. Hello and welcome again. So much to talk about. First of all, it was finally here, the Plymouth Albion 7:45 kickoff under the floodlights. Been much excitement and much anticipation to how this would go and how the big the crowd would be. And yeah, there was a big crowd there, 2,027, I believe, under the floodlights. Everybody having a fantastic time. It was great to see so many faces at the Brickfields. And it was amazing that local press got behind it. So I was very impressed and very surprised and very delighted to see Friday evening Plymouth Albion spotlight again. But Andy Burkett actually at the Brickfields hosting it there, celebrating and highlighting what Albion were getting up to at the weekend. So how things have changed. If anything, my issue is now we're on too much. No, of course I'm not serious about that. But wow, what a turnaround this is. So again, thank you to all you guys that supported and really pushed to sort of get us back on the local mappers. And it's just brilliant. And I really buzzing and really happy to sort of see all that, which is great. And yes, Plymouth Albion, they put on a very entertaining performance to give us a 36-21 victory over Birmingham Moseley. Birmingham Moseley, who are having a bit of a tricky start to the season, but yeah, they were absolutely no mugs. So looking at the game, starting lineup was a few tweaks to the team. So Reece Williams came in at hooker for Harry Wilson, the ever-present. Probably I think he must be top try scorer. I should know these facts. Must be top try scorer. Then we had Harry Legg came in at fly half for Ewan Jenkins. I had a friend of mine say he's a my mispronunciation of Ewan Jenkins, like the Ewans and all that kind of. He's gonna miss it. So yeah, it's Ewan Jenkins, and yeah. So Harry Legg came in for fly half for him. And Nick Liddy, our brand new addition from the Exeter Chiefs, came in at inside centre. Was really looking forward to seeing how he was going to perform. Age 19, always a bit weary of when the Chief lads come in. They're very young, but looks a big lad for 19. They're making them big now. These youngsters who are getting professional contracts, they're getting pretty big. So I thought he looked a really sharp player from what I saw. Yeah, it was a very challenging game. First half line out was a bit rusty, but as I just said there, Reece Williams, he didn't do the full pre-season with Plymouth Albion, so it was good for him to get some minutes. He was always a very reliant player last year, and I feel like Albion fans complain about the line out quite a lot, but I think we've been really solid in that sort of element. We struggled with the scrum in the first half, but saying all this, Birmingham Moseley looked a really big side. Again, I feel like I'm saying this every week, but on the sidelines, you don't know these players. It's not like famous people you see on the TV. I thought, oh wow, they're big units across the pitch. I remember thinking that last year when I watched Birmingham as well. Big physical team, and we really struggled to get to grips with the scrum, and that really kept them in the game. If I'm correct as well, I think all of Albion's tries were from the backs. And that rolling maul, we've had a lot of tries from that. It was a wet day, so there's a lot of balls getting dropped from both sides on that sort of skiddy surface and the greasy ball. Albion really stuck to their game plan. Well, I have worried, and I will continue to worry because we play this really expansive brand of rugby. Now those dark nights are coming in and the weather's going to change. I do worry sometimes whether we are a mature enough team. But we do have a style of play, and I guess we'll be sticking to that. And we'll see, as you know, when we've got these big games coming up later on in the season against some of the top opposition. Can we really see out those games? Can we really manage a game? We will see. But I thought the guys, considering they were up against it in the scrum, they were up against the line out in the set piece, and Birmingham Moseley really hung in there. They got quite a bit of self belief. Albion managed to finish the job off ultimately, which is Albion lost after last week. That would have been a bit of a blow to them, but they really sort of managed to turn this one on the screw. And it was really good performance, as I said, with new combinations in the centres. That will take a bit of time as well. But I thought Nick Liddy looked a really solid player. I think it was I mentioned last week how we were conceding tries in the first minute. It was the other way round this time round. We scored a try in the first minute. Oscar Stewart just running through loads of players. He's having a really fantastic season. And then another try we had from Shay Cornish and Bobby Wingington as well. So our guys out wide really getting those tries for us rather than the forwards. So it's really good that actually, you know, in this situation, we struggled as a pack in the scrum and the line out in the first half, got much better in the second half. However, our backs sort of stepped up and sort of won the game in that kind of sense. So it was really good team performance and grinded it out. You're not going to be perfect all the time. We grind it out. Frankie Dart making his kicks again after a little blip last week. Ever reliant player. I've made it really clear how fantastic I think he is. Ever reliant player. Good to see him. That would, I'm sure, would have done his confidence the world of good. As I've said before, onwards and upwards for Plymouth Albion. This was a potential big banana skin, you know, in front of a big crowd who were expecting something, and we got the win that was much needed and much deserved. Difficult one in terms of picking this Always Scrummy and Plymouth man of the match. I'm going to go for Ben Moore, just the ever reliant. He's always wanting the ball. He's always wanting to get stuck in. I don't know how he's not injured more often, how he just gets the ball all the time and just wants to be making yards. When things are getting tough, when you're up against a really big physical team, he's just there, wanting the ball, wanting to make a big impact. So Always Scrummy and Plymouth man of the match goes to Ben Moore. Other scores across the bonkers National League One. Clifton 55, Bishop Stortford 29. So another defeat for Bishop Stortford. I think they've had the Scrummy Paul curse after what I saw, and I said they're a strong team. But again, I think they've had a lot of injuries, but that's a big win there. 9 tries from Clifton, who have been struggling. Leeds Tykes 19, Leicester Lions 24. Big one down the bottom there. Leicester Lions getting the away victory and the try bonus points. Plymouth Albion 36, Birmingham Moseley 21. Not too sure why I always repeat that one. Rams 7, Blackheath 26. A massive victory there for Blackheath away. And again, getting the try bonus points. Rotherham 38, Tunbridge, not Tonbridge, Tunbridge, Judeans 28, so 38-28 there. Another 5 points for Rotherham. Sale 24, Rosslyn Park 27. Sale were in the lead for most of that game. Rosslyn Park just winning it towards the end. That would have been a huge upset. But yes, Sale, again, I've mentioned, team just plodding along quite nicely. Another team just to keep a little watchful eye out for. And then finally, we have got Sedgley Park 29, Bristol Bears, Dings Crusaders 22. Sedgley Park getting the try bonus point victory. How does that leave the league table? It was all changed because Albion playing later on. So it put the pressure on us to really get that performance because we dropped down to 5th, but we have moved back up to 3rd where we are. So Rosslyn Park are still in 1st place on 37 points. Rotherham in 2nd place on 36 points. Then we've got ourselves, Plymouth Albion, on 31, and Blackheath also on 31 in 3rd and 4th, respectively. Rams, 28 points. Then we've got Sale, 26, Sedgley Park on 24, Tunbridge on 22. Then there's quite a big jump down. We've got Dings on 15, Clifton 14, Birmingham Moseley 12. Then the bottom 3 teams in the relegation places are Leicester 12 points, Leeds 10, Bishop Stortford on 10 as well. So really tight down the bottom there. And as I said in previous weeks, those teams don't want to go down. So every now and then they're getting players from other Premiership teams. So it'd be interesting to see really, because it's really getting scrappy down there. Lots of teams really fighting for it. And that one is looking really, really interesting. So next week is a week off. Oh, no game. But looking ahead, so in a fortnight's time at the fixtures, Birmingham Mosey will be at home to Rotherham. Bishop Stortford are home to Rams. Then the big one, really, I'd say, which is including ourselves, Blackheath versus Plymouth Albion. So both of us on 31 points and equals. That's going to be a really huge game, and we have not been travelling on the road very well. We've beaten the teams near the bottom, and at the teams a little bit above, we've lost to so far. So this is going to be a really huge challenge for us, and one I'm really looking forward to going and watching. Dings are home to Sale. Leicester Lions are home to Clifton, so a massive one right down the bottom of the table there. Rosslyn Park are home to Leeds Tykes. Then Tunbridge against Sedgley Park. So two teams there that are very sort of level in the league as well. Much to look forward to in 2 weeks' time. We're kind of at now just short of a third of the way through the season. And just to remind you guys that you might not listen to the earlier episodes, the way the league table is working in that one is the top team goes up. So currently that's been held by Rosslyn Park. And then the team in second will go into a playoff with a team in the championship. So in the championship, the bottom team will come down. And then second bottom and third bottom will have a one-off playoff game, and their loser of that will play the team in second in that one, which has currently been held by Rotherham. Then the bottom three teams going down. So I was curious to actually just looking at the divisions above and below to see which teams are getting again held in those positions. So I say the championship, it's called, they've rebranded, just like the Prem Rugby, they've rebranded as the Champ Rugby. The team at the bottom currently is Cambridge. They've played for and lost for. They were the team who were bottom of the league last year by quite a distance, but there was no relegation into Nat 1 last season. Then the bottom two teams that would be currently in a playoff are Richmond and London Scottish, so two Richmond-based teams there. And then not too far ahead of them are the Cornish Pirates. The Cornish Pirates have got off to a bit of a tricky start for a team that I think came third last year. They've won one, lost two, and drawn one. So could be potentially, I imagine they'll be too strong. But at the moment, they are sort of fighting in those kind of relegation places. And then the teams who are looking to join that one, so in National League 2 North, at the moment, so Darlington got relegated this league. They are second, and the top team at the moment who are undefeated with a perfect record are Sheffield. So that'll be a potentially a long journey for us if we are still in that one next year, of course, as well. And then Nat 2 East, we've got Old Albanian at the moment, who are flying high at the top of theirs one. I'm pretty certain ex-Albion player Josh Skelsey is a player coach there, so could be seeing him down at Brickfields again pretty soon. And then in Nat 2 South, we have got Camborne, who are on the perfect start to their season. They're heavily funded, Camborne. So Camborne have got a few extra Albion players. Robin Wedlake's who left us for the Pirates, is there at the moment. Then you've got Sam Matavesi there. So where are they getting all this money from? Sam Matavesi obviously was playing Northampton, won the Premiership, got a big money move to France and Lyon, and has then gone to Camborne. They've got and they've also got his brother Josh Matavesi there as well, so they've got a bit of money. So interesting to see if they came up. But hopefully Albion will be in the champ for next season, so it won't affect us anyway. And next week, if you're feeling like you're missing out on any rugby, it is the Autumn Internationals have started. Next Saturday, we'll have England versus Australia, also be Scotland versus the United States, and then Ireland will be playing New Zealand in Chicago. So you can still get your rugby fix despite the mighty Plymouth Albion not playing. Bands news. Looking at the social, lots of comments. There's always far more comments when it's a home fixture, and there's been a bit more interest. Big crowds, evening kickoffs. Let's dive into these comments, see what's been said. So first one, great night and result. Also, can we have the great food again from the guys outside the supporters marquee? I've got no idea what that's. I missed that, but great to see that people really enjoying that. I don't know what type of food that was, but I've got a similar comment here. So next comment, it's lovely to have a choice of something a bit different to eat as well. The hot dogs were lovely. I like a pasty as much as anyone, but it's nice to have a good choice of something else. I had my pasty. I was absolutely delighted to have my pasty. I'm religiously a pasty eater at Plymouth Albion and always will be. But really good that actually big crowd. They've tried something different, and the punters are loving it. So keep that up, Plymouth Albion. If you're listening to this, that's got some very satisfied customers there. Next comment. Great game. Just need a speedier bar. Miss some of the games standing in long queues. I had a similar situation actually. I did miss one of the tries due to queuing for a drink as well. It's all part of it, isn't it? I was actually, if you, for those who listened to the last episode, I went to the Chiefs to watch the Quins game last Sunday, and it was the same there. If you queue up and get a bit of food, I actually couldn't get a pasty there. I had to go to the other side of the stadium and get my pasty. I thought, oh, so it's not just Plymouth Argyle. It's a really difficult situation, isn't it? Rugby clubs, Gloucester have just announced that they're crowdfunding because they're struggling. It's difficult financially with the clubs at the moment, but it is a fine balance, isn't it? If you're not getting people satisfied, they're not going to spend the money, but they don't want waste, and also you don't want to spend too much and not make any profit. It is business after all. However, I worked in nightclubs, I worked in bars, I also worked at weddings at the bars. It was all about speed. So I don't know whether that's just something to be really looking at those finer details of. Actually, we don't want people queuing up for a really long time. We want people satisfied. We want people going back and getting more, don't we? So people have a really fantastic fan experience, like those ones talking about that extra food. So hopefully that's something that can get addressed. But it is frustrating as a fan when you miss tries because you want to have a good time, you want to spend your hard-earned money, and you want to give to the club and actually get you want the refreshments that you want, don't you? If you're missing part of the game, there's something definitely seriously wrong there, isn't there? Next comment. Thank you for a great evening of rugby, Plymouth Albion. More Saturday night lights or even Friday night lights next season, please. From my personal view, I thought it was just another fantastic evening. I'm really enjoying going to Plymouth Albion. I'm enjoying going to the away games as well. I think there's a really good buzz. But I feel great going to Plymouth Albion. I always have a really good time. I thought, obviously doing this podcast, I think a lot about Plymouth Albion and things that could be better. I chat to a lot of people about Plymouth Albion as well now. People approach me and my friends chat to me, family chat to me more about it. And I was at the Chiefs last week, and I honestly think going to Plymouth Albion is better. And that's not me with rose-tinted eyes. It's just so corporate, and it's kind of soulless. I was looking again some of the tries that against this week, and they're not selling out. They're third in the league. They've got Austria International. They've got a fantastic team this year, and they're not selling out. But I think Plymouth Albion it's just got so much character. It's got a very unique little ground, really. But we're getting 2,000 in, and you're right next to the pitch. They had the Red Bull Entertainment. The marquee's all good. We've got a fantastic little stand. I think it's a really great day out, and they're trying different things. The evening kickoff was a really good idea. From what I understand, for that to happen, for the league to agree that, Albion had to pay for Birmingham's to have a hotel for the night. So they're trying things to keep us fans happy and to have different experience. And I think it was a huge success. Don't know about Friday night. I don't know. I would obviously go, but would people be put off by that? I don't know, but yeah, I think other clubs have tried that. So it'd be interesting. I'm assuming that they'll do more of this because I think it was such a huge success. Next comment. Next comment. Great game, but again, our line out let us down. Also, to give away a penalty for being offside our own kick, it could come down to fine margins at the end of the season. We, the fans, want that success. Cut out the needless penalties and keep discipline, but most of all, sort the line out. As I said before, I think different hooker, different systems, different people. That will take a bit of time, and it was a difficult conditions. And Birmingham had a really good pack. I think they were a really strong set of forwards who did well in their line out, and you've got to take your hat off to them. And they're not doing these things on purpose. That was a minor mistake, and got a young team and need the experienced heads to make sure they're really on top of these sort of things and make sure those things don't happen again. Looking now more at the sort of life of Scrummy Paul on the socials, those who follow me on Instagram and Facebook did last week for the first time a Throwback Thursday, just post an ex-player, and did it again this week, and people have gone wild for it. So I posted a photo of the legend that is Kenny Fizzleout. And I have received the most likes, most comments, most views. I had 5,500 people view this, and it was shared by Sam Matavesi, Scott Seo, Australian international ex-Chief player, liked it, and just people went wild for it. Dan Ward Smith liked it. He's followed me now. So getting all the ex-players loving it. It's like stuff of schoolboy dreams for me that Dan Ward Smith is following me on there, and Kenny Fizzleout is following now as well. But yeah, it's just great actually that people went so wild for these Martin Schussman the previous week and now Kenny Fizzleout. It makes you really realise again, actually, as a club, we've got a lot of history. We've got a lot of history. And also, maybe there's a fan base, a former fan base there that have got disconnected with the club, maybe that because there's so many people that have got such warm affiliation with the club. And I don't know if they're going all the time to games. Maybe they've moved away, but so many people have fond memories of so many of the ex-players. And that's one of the fantastic things about this rugby club that we have. And there's so much history. There's, there's naval pride as well, and all sorts there. And it's just really great to sort of see all these comments. One person commented saying, "This is my first ever Albion jersey. That was September 2010." So again, they've just got a photo. They've seen Kenny Fizzleout, and they reminisce about their first ever Plymouth Albion shirt. Very similar to the current one they've got with those green hoops, by the way. Another comment on this was great player, always a good battle, tough to come up against. So that was it's written by Winnie. I think he's a former Cornish Pirates player. And another comment, legend. He's landed some of the biggest hits the Brickfield has ever seen. I did think actually, would he be able to survive in the modern game now? I remember watching them play London Welsh at Brickfields, and they had this little bold fly half who made lots of kicks early on. I remember Kenny just absolutely took him way too high, and he got stretched off, and that was it. But the amount of red cards he'd be getting in the modern game, I don't know if he survived, but what a player. I think he's possibly the most iconic ever Albion player. He was there for such a long time, and it's actually great to see his lads. Greg doing really well at ex Chiefs. When I went to the Chiefs. I read the program, and there was a comment about Greg that said mentioned his dad being a Plymouth Albion legend, and that Greg got into rugby late because his dad did not want him playing tag rugby. He wanted him to start playing rugby when it became full contact because he did not want him getting soft, which again was just like the most Kenny thing I've possibly read, and just put a huge smile on my face. But what a legend, and thank you everybody for sort of sharing those things. I'm looking forward to posting more Throwback Thursdays in the future. Watching, following rugby as I do, it was really cool to see that Plymouth lad and was on loan for Plymouth Albion in his youth, Henry Slade, got to 1,000 points for Exeter Chiefs. So it just made me think, one of my best friends watched Henry Slade. He went to Bedford University, and he watched Henry Slade when he was 19 play for Plymouth Albion. And I went to the same school as him, so there was much interest about him and how he's getting on, and always playing for Plymouth Albion. And they lost heavily against Bedford's Blues away, who have always been a top team in the Championship. And my friend Jack said he is not good enough for the Championship. So when I saw that 1,000 points for Exeter Chiefs pop up, I did think of my friend Jack, who wrote him off. But yes, Plymouth Albion, absolutely fantastic club, always creating future internationals. I'm sure interesting to see who will be one of those again in the future. Another thing about the Floodlights game, which I thought was really hilarious, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but I went to join the third half in the Stormforce marquee, and I went to the gents, as you do, and there's a little table there. I'm going to post a picture of this, what I took of it. I'll put it on the socials. And was a weird touch that I sort of thought here. So on this table, 2 cans of Lynx Africa, and also just a pot of glacier mint. I've, I've not been able to stop thinking about this. That in the Stormforce marquee they have supplied 2 cans of Lynx Africa for, for whoever going in there just wants to just have a little bit of a spray with Lynx Africa. Is something that's a joke, or is that like a genuine thing? I would love to hear from somebody about that. But I don't. Has anyone else noticed this? I, you go into Leeds Tigers away, and they've got Dyson hand dryers. We're giving out cans of Lynx Africa. That's the most like in betweeners teenage boy thing ever. Jeez. So, but yeah. I still can't quite get my head around that. I actually saw that as I don't know if it's one of my mates playing a joke, but yeah, that was something I just can't quite move on from. And then another thing that's popped up on the socials I've seen is so the legends from Albi Travel. One of them on Albi Travel has created a song. So a anthem. They've advertised this as an anthem that they want to be sung at the stadium or the players to run out to. And so obviously I saw this and I thought, I'm a bit curious by this. So I had to listen to it. I've recorded it. It's not the best quality, but just for you guys to hear. So I'm just going to play it now for you guys, all right? Down by the sea where the breakers roll stands a team with a lion soul. Red, white and green we rise and run. Albion pride in everyone. Raise the roar, let the drums all down. From Britain's turf to battleground. We fight, we fall, we rise again. Plymouth Albion. Through wind and rain, from Devon's hills to the Tamar tide, we carry our city, we carry our pride. With every tackle, every try, we chase the glory, we reach the sky. Raise the roar, let the drums all pound, from Brixton's to battleground. We fight, we fall, we rise. Plymouth Albion, almighty men. Thoughts on that? So, I've got to be careful. I've got to be careful. When I listened to this, I was quite taken aback, and I thought, oh, okay, someone's put a lot of time and effort into this. They've put their name to it. They're really proud of it, and I don't want to badmouth this or anything like that. But then I actually put into AI ChatGPT Plymouth Albion chant, and guess what song popped up? It was word for word perfect, the same one as this. So actually, I feel a little less guilty now. I feel actually that I can sort of say, do you know what? That reminds me of communist Russia, and I do not want to hear this at Plymouth Albion. So Albi Travels fans who listen to this, that is not somebody spent any time creating that. That has been purely AI generated. So do not feel any guilt in actually saying that that's not great. But if we're going to attract fans to the club, we do not want to be sort of having it a communist Russia, banging the drums, battlefields. If we want some chants at Albion, we need to be short. So we've got our classic, Albi, 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 on. What does anyone remember back in the day? The whole one that was some guy would go all together now, and then the whole crowd would go Albion. That was a banger. Really simple. I remember being a school kid. Me and my mates all loved that. We were stood by a hall, and just every now and then, if one of my mates went all together now, everyone would just go Albion. And a school teacher came out and go, it's like there's an exam going on in this hall. You cannot be chanting. But yeah, why are we bringing that back? So simple, everyone could get behind it. Rather than this AI generated anthem that sounds communist Russia or, I don't know. But that's not going to get people involved. That's not going to get the young fans getting involved. Also, it's 1 minute 20 long. Who wants to remember that many words? I'm liking the passion. I'm liking the idea. But, let's create something a bit more simple and less AI generated, please. I'm just looking at, so I'm recording this Sunday evening, and I haven't been at the game yesterday evening as well. big crowd, but I mentioned last time round, actually, is there a demand? Is there an interest in potentially having a mascot? Because doing a bit more research, there are many mascots out there across the country, actually across Europe, in terms of rugby. It's not just a football thing. And I had a few people chat to me at the game the other day in the third half, saying about the mascots. And it comes down to a whole thing of actually, can you get the right person to do it? Because, Pilgrim Pete doesn't really do too much at Plymouth Argyle games, but I don't know if anyone here has ever, but back in the day, went to Plymouth Raiders games. Foxy was such a great character, and actually, I've got fond memories as a child, seeing him doing like one of the breaks where he would run, jump on the trampoline, and do a slam dunk. But I just thought that the other day, 2,000 fans, there could have been a bit more like a bit more oomph, and we can't really just rely on a commentator. But yeah, Cornish Pirates have a mascot. Plymouth Argyle do. Exeter Chiefs have one. There's loads of really good ones out there. I'm going to put photos out on pictures out on the socials, but I did put a vote out. Would fans actually like to see it? And it's only been out for a couple of hours, but I've had 30 votes and 29 people have said yes. Only one person, but I think it's something that we're missing. We're missing a trick a bit, really. Yeah, it's an opportunity for a mascot can wear the shirt, that the sponsors, someone can sponsor it. You could be wearing the sponsors on the shirt, get the younger fans involved, and also it's photo opportunities. Just read today that Leinster Rugby, they've got a lion called Leo the Lion for Leinster, broke a world record for a mascot running a marathon. They ran the Dublin Marathon, did it in 3.5 hours, which is outrageous for someone wearing a mascot sort of suit. But the mascot has its own social media as well. And I just I actually just think it would be something great for Plymouth Albion. We've never had one, I don't think. And yeah, I'm going to put some ideas out there, but it's interesting that people agree with it. But it does come down to that fine detail of, it's if we can get the right person to do it. I'll throw out there, I'll do a shift. I'll do a shift in the suit, get the fans pumped, get the fans going, post a few photos in this mascot or whatnot. But yeah, it's something, again, I'm going to try and push and find out a bit more. But it's really interesting to hear. And really thanks for your feedback, guys. I think there's a demand actually out there for one. Welcome back to our rugby novice, that is Livy. So actually, the other day, you made a comment to me saying that you're running out of ideas. So, yeah, she's back. But for how much longer, we do not know. But yeah, but the whole thing is you're meant to be a rugby novice. So if you're running out of ideas, does that mean you're no longer a rugby novice? And like you get the game now. You're the full expert.
I don't know if I would say I was an expert.
So there you go. Yeah, there's loads more questions asked then. So for those of you actually listening, like I generally don't know what Livy's going to start asking me now, or what she's going to talk about. But at least we're not talking about a chocolate bar rugby team. I don't know how that went down with people. But yeah, back to what you were saying. So take it away, Livy.
Okay. No, I've just got some records and trivia for you. So I'm going to quiz you a bit.
This never goes well when you quiz me. I always make a bit of a fool of myself. Okay, anyway, go for it.
Okay, so the first one, it was more like, did you know? This is like a trivia thing. Did you know that the same whistle used in the 1905 England versus New Zealand match is the same? Ooh, is the same one used to start the first game of every Rugby World Cup?
No, I did not. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I must be. Oh, probably old school whistle then.
So outside of the World Cup, it's kept in a museum in New Zealand, and then they bring it out for the first game.
It seems quite high risk, that, doesn't it? But
they also have a coin. They have a coin, the same coin they use to flip. I guess that's to decide like which end you play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's historic coin, historic whistle.
The traditionalist listening would be loving this.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right now I'm going to quiz you.
Okay.
So.
I'm ready.
Highest score. Do you know what the highest score in a single international match was? So it's like combined points between both teams.
Well, first of all, no, I don't. If I have to try and make a prediction, I would have no clue. Well, you say international, that doesn't. You automatically sort of think about England and teams like that, but it could be anything. Could it? It could be like it could be like Spain versus Romania. Can it?
Do you want to know the teams?
Yeah, go on then.
That help. Okay.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So it was New Zealand versus Japan.
Okay, so New Zealand, Japan. So I reckon this would have been a while ago as well, because Japan are like a decent team now. I reckon this was like, say, 20 years ago or something.
1995, so literally, yeah, 20 years ago.
There you go. So they would have been a weak team. Did Japan get nothing?
They didn't get nothing, but it's like the combined points of the two teams.
Okay, so
They
okay, they didn't get nothing.
They got some
I'm
points.
gonna say the combined score is 160.
No way. 162.
Oh, there we go.
That was very close. So
How many did Japan get?
Japan got 17. And New Zealand got, this is actually insane, 145.
I think I have heard the highest a team has scored is 150ish. That was what I was thinking in my head.
Ah.
So then and then thought maybe Japan might have got one.
Okay.
Yeah,
to be fair, they did pretty well to get.
I did amazing there.
They actually did pretty well to get 17 points against New Zealand in 1995, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
But
definitely.
Well done, New Zealand, on 145 points.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. World Cup record. So, who holds the record for the largest winning margin in a Rugby World Cup match?
I'm going to go with, again, I'll go with New Zealand.
It's not New Zealand, but you're close. Like, close.
So Australia then?
Yeah, Australia.
Australia. And against Uruguay?
No, it was actually Namibia.
I almost went for them.
In Namibia, it was in 2003.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. The largest World Cup margin, was it? The margin?
Winning margin.
Winning margin. So, like 130, is it, or something?
142.
Okay.
So, like, Australia got 142 and Namibia got 0 points.
Yeah, yikes.
Okay, next one, most tries. So, who holds the record for the most tries in a Rugby World Cup, and how many did he get?
I swear I've heard this one before as well. The most tries from someone, I reckon. Is it a New Zealand player?
This is really bad. I think it is.
Is it Doug Powlett?
No, I'm really doubting myself. No, I'm pretty sure he's New Zealand, but I feel like I should definitely know that he's from.
It's fine, you're a rugby novice. You
know
these things, yeah.
No, do you want to know who it is?
Yes, please.
Jonah Lomu.
Of course. Well, yeah, he's New Zealand.
Yeah, he is a Kiwi, isn't he? I just suddenly second guess myself. How many tries did he get?
7.
15.
Heck. All right, didn't know that.
I think that was over the whole World Cup, though. I don't think it was in like.
That's not one game. Okay.
It was over the whole World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 in one game is amazing, isn't it? That would be.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Okay, I've got one more for you.
Go for it.
So, rugby is well known for its large frame players. However, one of them is the heaviest of all. One of the heaviest of them all is a guy called Bill Cavabuti, known as Big Bill. He was 6'2". Do you know how much he weighed when he played?
Well, no. If he's one of the biggest, he must be like 130 kg.
160.
Wow. Okay.
kg.
Wow. I was a long way off there. Yeah. I'm thinking about more modern, but he was probably a bit of a tubby one.
Well, I don't know, maybe muscle, who knows?
Who knows?
We'll have to Google him. Okay, one more. I thought this was funny. So apparently there's a player that played for Tonga called Tonga Tonga.
Nice.
And apparently the name Tonga is very popular in Tonga.
Okay.
So there's quite a few Tongas.
I didn't know that.
But it's just his surname was also Tonga.
I was just talking about Plymouth Albion. My throwback Thursday, Kenny Fizzlau was a Tongan international, and actually the picture I posted on the socials was him against Jonah Lomu. It's all come around full circle here, Evie.
It is.
So you were saying you didn't want to do, you were going to stop doing this, and you couldn't stop then. Just one more fact. We keep going with all of that. Brilliant. Brilliant, amazing. Is that everything, Liz?
That is everything.
Brilliant, amazing. Thank you as always. Look forward to you next time.
Thank you. See you next time.
Thank you, as always, for listening, supporting the show. So I got a week off, much thoroughly deserved. Never thought I'd get into the position like I'm in with all this at the moment. So I'm gonna have a bit of time to actually sort of sit down, make a plan, maybe try a few things out, and who knows what will be different. It'll probably be just the same in 2 weeks' time. Got some huge huge games for Plymouth Albion cover. So the next few fixtures, Blackheath away, followed by Rams away, then it's Rotherham at home. So 3 huge fixtures. I would say season defining. So cannot wait for all of that. As I said, guys, thank you so much for your support. I really have enjoyed this. It's been great getting to know some of you guys and actually talking to you guys. And it's been really inspired. It's been really it's been really overwhelming to hear that you guys are really sort of engaged with the club and have been really appreciating the work I'm doing in terms of actually just letting you guys know what's happening with Plymouth Albion, because ultimately that's all I want you guys to do is to engage the club. So thank you so much, guys, for all the positive words and the engagement. Follow on the socials, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube if you haven't done so already. I will see you guys in 2 weeks' time. As always, Albi.